Hi, welcome to our Tahoe Blue Crew training. We're so happy to have you here today and join our Tahoe Blue Crew family. My name is Marilee Movius, and I'm the Senior Community Engagement Manager.
I'm Kelsey Brown, a Community Engagement Coordinator.
And I'm Courtney Thompson, also a Community Engagement Coordinator.
Today, we're going to be talking to you about the need for Tahoe Blue Crew, more about the Tahoe Blue Crew program and how fun it is, planning your first cleanup, executing it, and how to wrap it up, and the next steps to get started. After you've completed the training, we will have you send us an email so that we can touch base, confirm your zone, and meet you in person to give you your equipment. This program can be as simple or as robust as you'd like it to be, and we have a whole plethora of types of Blue Crews, whether it's an individual, families, groups, and all of us are together helping to keep Tahoe blue. I'm going to first talk about the need for the Tahoe Blue Crew program and why it's important that we have it. So Lake Tahoe is one of the most beautiful places on earth, as you may know, and it struggles to keep up with the over 15 million visitors each year. And this is more than 3 times the visitation of Zion National Park or Yellowstone National Park without national park protections. So Tahoe is essentially being loved to death with litter left in the environment. It's a reminder of the severity of the threats litter has. Research has shown that people will litter for 3 main reasons. One is that they feel no attachment or sense of ownership to the area. Potentially it's the first time, so they don't know much about Tahoe. They think someone else will pick up after them because they paid to enter the park, and they see litter already accumulated, so they will litter, and litter essentially attracts more litter. Litter is harmful to the ecosystem. It carries bacteria, clogs storm drains that lead to Lake Tahoe. It leaches chemicals in the water. It looks bad in our pristine outdoors, and it's harmful to wildlife. The top litter that we do find at cleanups is plastics. So these are cigarette butts, foodware and to-go-ware, and also food wrappers. And since these don't biodegrade, it's essential that we get it out of the environment. Community cleanups are essential. As you can see, it takes all of us to be part of the solution. From 2014 to 2022, the League to Save Lake Tahoe and its volunteers have picked up over 195,000 cigarette butts and more than 74,000 pounds of litter that leads to Lake Tahoe and Truckee. The citizen science data that's collected is essential for solutions. This includes the City of South Lake Tahoe's plastic bag ban in 2015 and polystyrene ban in 2018. Also was instrumental in passing the smoking ban in incline parks in 2020. And it also lets us know where we may need to install cigarette canisters around the lake, where we do see a lot of cigarette butt litter accumulated. And a lot of the regions around Lake Tahoe will look at us as leaders on how we can make change in our communities. The reason Tahoe Blue Crews are so essential is that there's such a need right now. A lot of the land managers are understaffed, and over the years, we have more and more people visiting some of these locations in Tahoe, receive a lot of visitation. An individual or group is essential to ensure that we cover more territory than the League's 5 signature cleanups each year. So your involvement is a way to protect Lake Tahoe, and this grassroots movement is essential. Since 2019, we have activated 148 crews, and they have conducted over 1,000 cleanups and removed over 26,000 pounds of litter. Our Keep Tahoe Blue Crew program is a grassroots program. It's similar to an Adopt a Beach program. An individual or a group can adopt a litter hotspot and pledge to care for it at least 3 times a year. And we really recommend people going out after major holidays to ensure that the litter is removed from the environment. I'm now going to hand it over to Kelsey to talk more about the Tahoe Blue Crew program.
Great, thank you so much, Marilee. So first, with Tahoe Blue Crew, we're going to jump into the program goals. So you may guess that first and foremost, the program goals are that you're going to reduce the amount of litter in Lake Tahoe's environment. But there's more goals on top of that. So our goal with this program is to teach volunteers how they can execute efficient litter cleanups and report the data that they collect. We can educate you as well as community members that you may see out and about the litter that's harmful to Lake Tahoe's water clarity and the wildlife. We can then use the trash data that you collect to advocate for more solutions around the basin and elsewhere. And then we can get volunteers involved with not only this program, but one of our other amazing programs as well. As a Tahoe Blue Crew leader, you will have a little bit more responsibilities than others that are just in your crew. So first, you're going to pledge to conduct cleanups at least 3 times a year to remain active in the program. After each cleanup, you're going to want to report the data and share the photos from your cleanup with us so that we can advocate for solutions and promote other amazing opportunities like this. You're going to monitor your area and alert us if there's anything out of the ordinary, be it litter related, fire ring related, wildlife related, anything of the sort. Each participant is going to have to sign a waiver in order to participate. And we're going to ask that you or another leader for your location is there for the entirety of the cleanup. While you are there, you are a representative of Keep Tahoe Blue and the Tahoe Blue Crew program. So we're going to want to make sure that for safety reasons, you're dressed appropriately, you're not drinking or under the influence of drugs during the cleanup. And that while you're there, you're sharing your knowledge that you learn from this training and when you speak with us in other circumstances, situations, with others that come up to you. We have many community members that come up to our Tahoe Blue Crew leaders and ask questions, say thank you, and are really just appreciative and want to learn what you're doing. So sharing that with the community is a big part of this. And then, of course, invite friends, family, and colleagues. It's a really fun opportunity and a great way to take care of this place. So invite those around you that also find it important to take care of Lake Tahoe. At Keep Tahoe Blue, we will provide you with a ton of support for being a part of this program. So we'll provide you with training like this one and others. And then we'll also give you all of the materials and tools that you will need for your cleanups. We'll provide you with relevant contact information for our staff and any land managers and other local agency staff that you will need for your location. And we're here to provide a program that is positive for you, encouraging, and gives you everything and more that you could need to be successful throughout this program and with your cleanups. We always encourage opportunities for feedback. After this training, if there's anything that you can think of that could be improved or that you think that we missed, please let us know. We're always hoping to make it a better experience for our community members and our volunteers. And then recognition and incentives for those volunteers. So we have an amazing volunteer base and we love to show our support for those amazing volunteers that help us keep Tahoe Blue. So being a part of Tahoe Blue Crew is a great step towards becoming a part of our core volunteer program where we have special events, swag, all kinds of really cool things for those volunteers to show you just how much we care about you. Next, we are going to talk about planning your cleanup. So you've gone through the training, and then before your cleanup, we're going to have a couple more steps. So a really fun first step to start with is selecting your Tahoe Blue Crew name and deciding who you want in your crew. So it can be anyone from just you to your family, to wanting to invite the community members and a community group or your business. So it can be as big as you want, and you'll want to decide that. And then from that, you can build your Tahoe Blue Crew name. This can be just your name, the location, where you're cleaning up, or something super fun and individual and special to your group. Then you're going to want to think of a cleanup schedule. So as mentioned, to be a part of this program, you'll want to go out at least 3 times in a calendar year. Thinking about that is important because it reminds you how frequently you need to go out. And it helps us prepare land managers for when you're there. So ideally, people are going out at least once a month or at least around large holidays when Lake Tahoe sees a bunch of extra traffic, but you're welcome to go out as frequently as you would like. From there, you'll pick your adopted zones. This can be somewhere that's important to you, be it your neighborhood, somewhere you frequent, near your business, or we can assign you a litter hotspot that we have already identified around the basin based on where you're located or where you frequent. Once we receive the above information, we'll meet with you either at the league office or at your site, depending on how familiar you are with it, so that you can sign all the paperwork, finish all of that, and get your kit that you will need for your cleanups. From there, we will go into planning logistics for your zone. So say it's at a public beach. That would include things like parking, restrooms, dumpster access, and the like, so that we can really get you comfortable with all the things that you'll need to conduct your own cleanup. And then communication. So we are here to be an open line of communication for you. If you have any questions before, during, or after your cleanups, we are here. So you can let us know items of concern, send us fun photos, anything out of the ordinary, any questions you have, please reach out. So as mentioned, part of being a Tahoe Blue Crew is that you get a cleanup kit provided to you to do your cleanup. So when you meet with us, we will get you a welcome kit like the one in the slide that you see, and this is yours to keep for as long as you are an active crew, which is at least 3 cleanups in a calendar year. We'll go over the contents of this kit with you when we meet with you in person. And then if for whatever reason you need additional materials, be it because you're going out with a larger group or have specific needs, we can lend out equipment to you based on our inventory at the time, if needed. Next, I'm going to hand it over to Courtney to talk about executing your cleanup.
Thanks, Kelsey. So executing your cleanup. The day of your cleanup might be as simple as going outside with your equipment for a couple hours and filling out the data card. However, if you're hosting an event with people joining you, there will be a little more work required. Before you go out, it's always important to check the forecast to make sure the weather will be safe to host a cleanup. We want to avoid going out in lightning storms, blizzards, and hazardous conditions. We also recommend that you get to your site at least 30 minutes prior to ensure that there's space to set up materials and that it is a good location. Make sure to wear the Tahoe Blue Crew vest so you're visible to people as they arrive. And it is best to first set up check-in so people arrive and then can get their materials second. So at the beginning of your cleanup event, part of your job as a Tahoe Blue Crew Leader will to make sure that all volunteers have signed in and completed a waiver. So all volunteers will need to create a Keep Tahoe Blue volunteer account with Galaxy Digital, our volunteer management platform, and they can do this at volunteer.keeptahoeblue.org. In your account, you can complete the annual waiver qualification and requirement. We will be sending out details via email on how to complete this waiver. Secondly, you'll give your crew equipment. So everyone should get one glove for their pickup hand, and either they can have a reusable bag for litter or share one with a partner. If you've checked out equipment with us for your group, or you have your own cleanup materials, each person could get a grabber and a vest as well. You'll also be giving each volunteer or a small volunteer group a data card and a pencil. So data collection can happen along the way or at the end. Really, you can make it as detailed as you would like to go with it. And we'll go over this more when you receive your welcome kit. Data collection is fun, and you'll want to remind volunteers that this action is used for solutions. So we use a science to solutions approach, using data collected from volunteers to create litter solutions, as mentioned earlier. So things like cigarette canisters, if you see a lot of cigarettes in an area, the updated polystyrene ban in the city of South Lake Tahoe. Both of these things have been results of the data that we've used to help support these solutions. Also with your volunteers, before your cleanup, you'll want to go over some educational points. So some talking points include that these cleanups are vital. So you want to convey that to your volunteers. They're important to protect the environment and wildlife here in Lake Tahoe. The most common types of trash that we find in these cleanups are single-use plastics and cigarette butts. And it's important to know that plastics don't biodegrade. They only photodegrade, and this breaks them into smaller and smaller pieces. And they can become microplastics, which leach toxins and chemicals into the environment. Oftentimes, these microplastics are overlooked. So it's important to tell your volunteers to pay special attention to the tiny pieces that they might come across. And it's important to remember that you are eyes and boots on the ground. It's important to report any things of concern to us along with your data. Safety. So before you send your volunteers out, it's important to go over some safety information. You'll want to let them know to wear sun protection, so either sunscreen or a hat. To stay hydrated, bring a water bottle with you when you're cleaning up. It's important to wear Tahoe Blue Crew vests or other bright clothing to make sure you're visible to other groups and cars if you're working near a road. Always wear gloves or use grabbers. Don't pick up any hazardous materials. If you happen to find syringes or needles on the ground, please do not pick them up. Report what you find to your leader, and they will then report it to us. Important reminder to not go onto private property or any fenced off areas. Make sure you're walking in a safe space if you're walking along a roadside, and avoid trampling vegetation. We have endemic species such as Tahoe yellowcrest here in Tahoe, and we want to make sure that we are not stepping on them. And if for any reason you have an emergency, please call 911 first. So you'll also want to let people know before they head out on your cleanup where to go, when to be back. So you'll want to help guide your volunteers where to clean at your site. If they should be paying attention to bushes or near parking lots or near rocks. These are all places that trash can hide. Remind them what time to return and to bring back all of their trash to weigh. So collecting trash can be time consuming and people can get caught up collecting trash. So important to distinctively say a time when to return back and to bring all that trash back to weigh, because we want to get a total weight of everything you collect on your cleanup. And also remind them to take photos. So we love to see your photos. Please take action shots, group shots, all of those are great. When your volunteers are out collecting, remind your crew that it's also a good time to recruit new volunteers. So you might get people coming up asking, hey, what are you doing? Who are you volunteering with? This is a great time to spread awareness on how to protect the environment and how to get involved. So once volunteers start returning back, we like to take a data card and write master on it to have a master data card to collect all of the data that your volunteers collect onto one single data card that you'll submit. On the back of the data card is where you can tally the weight of each bag as they return. This is always fun to weigh each bag individually and have a friendly competition within your crew to see who can collect the heaviest weight for their trash bag. You'll also want to make sure that everyone has completed a data card. And if they have not, when they return, you can have them do so then. Some people like to collect data as they go, and some people like to do it at the end. Both work, so whatever way you prefer is totally fine. We'll also give you blue bags where you can separate recyclables, things like hard plastic, things with numbers 1 and 2 on them, glass bottles, and aluminum. And then you'll want to make sure to take a group photo. So this crew's group photo turned out great. We'd love to see yours. So you can also share your photos on social media using the hashtags Tahoe Blue Crew and Keep Tahoe Blue. There's also a Tahoe Blue Crew Facebook group that we encourage you to join and promote your cleanup or share photos through there. You can also send them to Tahoe Blue Crew at keeptahoeblue.org. At the end of your cleanup, you'll want to thank everyone for coming. Ask if there was anything interesting they saw during the cleanup. Love to hear stories. And now that the trash bags are ready to go to the dumpster, you'll want to group them up, take them with you, or figure out which location is best for your site. After your cleanup. So after your cleanup has been completed, you'll want to tally the data cards and finalize the master data card. That master data card you'll submit online at keeptahoeblue.org/TBC data. You can then send your photos to that Tahoe Blue Crew email, tahoebluecrew@keeptahoeblue.org. And then you can also log your hours at volunteer.keeptahoeblue.org. If you borrowed cleanup equipment, this should be brought back either the same day or the following business day. Paperwork can also be dropped off at that time. And then lastly, you'll want to congratulate yourself on a successful cleanup. And it's time to start planning your next one. I'm going to pass it back over to Marilee to go over the next steps for initiating your Tahoe Blue Crew.
Thank you, Courtney. So after you have gotten your crew, conducted a cleanup, and you finish your cleanup and you're ready to submit data, that was the process of the Tahoe Blue Crews. So it is pretty easy. And again, our team is here to guide you through the process. So if this sounds like a good match for you, you could then email us at tahoebluecrew@keeptahoeblue.org and let us know that you've completed the training. And the next step after that is that we'll set up a time to meet you in person to give you your welcome kit and make sure we've got your waiver completed and your pledge agreement and what days you'd like to pick up. So we're really excited to have you. And thank you again for being a part of this training. And we really hope to have you part of the Tahoe Blue Crew family.